Thomas the Herman here, and I'm in Sacred Heart Church in Waco, Texas, and I'm sharing with you what happened to me when I experienced rapture, or what's also known as flight of the spirit or transport. Now, this is not that astral projection stuff of the New Age. This is very, very old. This is an experience that has been happening to people of prayer for thousands of years, and it is an experience of one's soul being taken out of the body to the divine presence. Now, that experience is like really, really powered. You could spend years in prayer and you can have one rapture and you can gain all the virtue and goodness that you can imagine that several years of praying could take. So as you can see, this is in a very advantageous place or an advantageous experience. And I'm going to share with you what I experienced when I experienced this transport or this flight of the spirit. When I experienced it and my body became all still and my soul left, and it was like consumed into the divine presence. It's very hard to describe these things, and you don't really feel anything, because your senses are like suspended, and then but your spirit, your soul experiences God in a more profound way than ever before, and you have an experience that things are a lot better than you thought they were. So what did I experience when I experienced this rapture? Well, it was kind of like all things are okay. It's a clarity within the mind that I could perceive that everything was okay with myself and with what God was doing with me in the world, and an emboldening spirit to be able to speak out, and it's kind of hard to describe these things because they really unravel over time. You're like given a download, and then over time the software begins to reveal itself. I know that's kind of a silly metaphor, but that's the best one I can come up with at this time. It's like a prompting to step out, to speak out, to share more of God's light. It's an understanding of God's light or God's grace that it's more powerful, more beautiful, more full of love, more full of goodness, hope, all of these things than I could perceive before. And I can't describe to you how beautiful, real, and profound that is. And I think it's a gift, of course, to be given to others. I'm sharing it with you right now. And it's also God trying to get me to move out of the dark night into the power of His resurrection. That's also a good descriptive term. It's like an acknowledgement of the power of the resurrection. It's like, do we really understand, believe or comprehend the power of the resurrection, to sit around, you know. Remember, the apostles in a very hostile world went out and preached the good news because of the power of the resurrection. They were unafraid. They were full of hope. They were full of the knowledge of the goodness and love of God. That's kind of what I'm experiencing in these raptures that I'm getting, these little short raptures. Anyways, this is Thomas the Hermit, trying to get on board with God's will. Say a prayer for me. I am praying for you. I'll talk to you later.